Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB, and welcome back here to the channel, guys, for another video. And today we are going to be discussing the very, very pressing topic of Samuel Umtiti. Will he leave the club? Is he really going to be joining Man United this summer, or do we still have a chance of renewing his contract and upping that release clause? And what exactly right now is Samuel Umtiti demanding? What sort of wages does he want? And should we be bowing to the centre-back's demands? We're going to be covering all that and more in today's video. For me, it's a massive topic and one we have to cover. But let's not waste any time, guys. Let's crack straight on with that Samuel Umtiti story. And it has been something, like I said, that has been widely reported right throughout Spain today. And what we've got in this sort of instance is something we have seen quite a lot in recent days, in recent months, every single transfer window. You basically got Sport and Mundo Deportivo going head to head with contrasting stories. Sport are on the side, basically, that Samuel Umtiti is considering his future at Barcelona and that he could leave this summer. Mundo Deportivo believe that he's going to stay. We can agree a renewal. But let me just give you the overall picture, because it started yesterday, basically, when Samuel Umtiti was asked about his future in an interview, obviously, on international duty. A lot of players do these types of things. They speak with the media. They use this time to talk, of course, to the press. And Umtiti was asked, will you renew your contract with Barcelona and sign it? And he basically didn't really give an answer to that. You know what Umtiti's like. He's quite a character, and he sort of laughed his way through that question. Then he was asked, will you join Manchester United this summer? And he did exactly the same thing there. He didn't really give an answer. It was a bit of a joke, a bit of a laugh, and he didn't really give a concrete answer whether he was going to stay, whether he was going to sign, whether he was going to leave and go to United. He didn't really give much information at all. And this morning, Sport came out with the big headline, Umtiti danger. They believe that Samuel Umtiti right now is on the verge of leaving. They believe in between either renewing or leaving the club. They believe that he's close to leaving. They think that he doesn't want to sign a renewal. Barcelona will not agree to his wage demands, and for that reason, Manchester United are very interested in paying his €60 million release clause. And that's all it is. That is the really worrying thing, because of all our players right now, Umtiti's release clause is one of the lowest, and it's a really scary figure, because a lot of big clubs out there, whether it be United or City or PSG, you know full well they're fully capable of paying a clause like that without a single moment's hesitation. They've got the money to get Umtiti. They've got the money to certainly match and even bigger his wage demands. According to Sport, Umtiti wants €9 million a year, but apparently Barca are saying, we're not going that high. We are not going to give you that money. You can sign for less. But right now, according to reports, negotiations between the two parties have broken down. They can't agree on that figure. Barca unwilling to match his demands, and like I say, Man United ever so gladly to say, you know what, we can give you the money. And that's the worrying thing right now, and that is why I think this is a real problem. And we're going to come on to it later and talk about Griezmann, but this is the issue when you buy so many attack-minded players, so many big names like Coutinho, like Dembele, like Griezmann potentially this summer. You spend so much money on those players, and then you've got a key defender, one of the world's best centre-backs that we've seen at Barcelona for a long time, the answer to all of our problems in that centre-back department, the left-footed centre-back alongside Gerard Piqué. It's a match made in heaven. You've got a brilliant player here, and yet we don't want to agree a fee with him. Personally, if it was me, I would say pay him what he deserves. And for me, what he deserves is a contract that basically lines up with those of our key players, because Umtiti is a key player. You can't get around that. You can't expect to pay somebody who is a massive player in our team. He knows that. His agent knows that. Clubs around the world know that. He is colossal in our defence. You can't then expect to pay him like a squad player. It doesn't work that way. If he's playing well, if he's a massive player in this team, you have to pay him accordingly. And that's all Umtiti wants. €9 million a year is not 200,000 a week. It's less than that. It's about €175,000 per week. A lot of money, but it's not extraordinary amount. It's nowhere near the wage of Messi, of Luis Suarez. It's below that. It's below Iniesta. It's below Sergio Busquets. It's below Gerard Piqué. So he's not asking for extraordinary demands. He's not asking to be the best paid player at Barcelona. All he wants, and I'm sure all his agent is trying to do, is just saying, look, give us our worth. Give me what my client is worth, and that's €9 9 million per year. And Barcelona, if this is all true, are being absolutely stupid. If we're going to pay 100 million euros on Griezmann, and Griezmann's wages, by the way, which will be more than 9 million a year, we are stupid for neglecting a phenomenal centre-back, a brilliant player, somebody who fits the Barcelona system perfectly, and you would struggle to replace the quality of Samuel Umtiti if we lose him this season for just 60 million euros. And I say just, because in the modern market, Umtiti is worth a lot more than that, and we cannot afford to be cocky. That's what I would say about this. In years gone by, you could say, we're Barcelona, we've got the pull, players will stay here. But as we saw with Neymar in the summer, you cannot afford to get lazy, you cannot afford to get complacent. If you don't pay these guys what they're worth, if you don't treat these stars with the respect they deserve, then you won't keep them. It's as simple as that. There's clubs around the world, like Man United, like PSG, like Man City, who can pay these guys whatever they want. They have unlimited resources from their owners. We have to pay Umtiti what he deserves, accept his demands, bite the bullet on this one, because he's worth it. However, like I say guys, there is a spin on this one. Sports aim basically is just to say that Umtiti is unsettled. He's not able to agree that renewal. His agent currently is locked in these negotiations and it's not happening. And like I say, Sport basically believe that right now, as it stands, Umtiti's closer to leaving than he is to staying. But Mundo Deportivo come across with a slightly different angle on this one, and they basically say that Samuel Umtiti is happy at Barcelona. As we've seen that, we see it on the pitch every week. Umtiti clearly very happy in the Barcelona team, very happy in the city of Barcelona, and according to Mundo Deportivo, he is not thinking about moving right now. However, it does say the French defender does want an improved contract, and his brother, who is also coincidentally his agent, so that even more, I think, makes it so that he would want what Umtiti deserves. What his brother deserves, he is going to try and get every single penny from Barcelona, and that's absolutely right. He deserves it, so try and get him that money. Yannick, who is his agent, and his brother, apparently a very tough negotiator, and apparently he's going to do everything in his power to get Umtiti the best contract that he deserves at Barcelona. So I think personally, that's the way I'd see it right now. Sport are being very negative. They're jumping a bit on the bandwagon, I think, and they're saying, oh no, he's leaving. This is not looking good. He's got a release clause. We can't agree the wages. Umtiti right now, not looking good. But I think Mundo Deportivo here are being quite sensible, quite reasonable. They're the paper with the closer ties to the club. And I think right now, Umtiti does want to stay. I think he's very happy at Barcelona. He's happy with the system. Everything at this club suits him. But I think he does want the money. He does want to feel valued. He does want to be rewarded for his fine form. And like I say, that's absolutely justified. I personally, if I had to give my own opinion on this, I think in the end, Umtiti will stay at Barcelona. I really do. Simply because, like I say, I think he's at home here. I think he genuinely feels that he can win titles here. I don't think he'd feel the same at Man United. They're building a team. But under Mourinho, is he really going to be challenging for the very top titles right now? I'm not so sure. I think in an ideal world, he stays at Barcelona. He gets the contract that he deserves. He feels valued. And he stays here for many years. What we have to do though, and what I think we should tie in with the negotiations, what we should be doing right now is saying, okay, we'll give you the 9 million a year. What you want, we will give you your wage demands because you've been such a good player, you've given us such good performances, and you deserve that. What we will do in return is renew your contract, but with a release clause of 300 million euros. Simple as that. Renew his contract, accept his wage demands, and then meet him halfway. Get a release clause in there which cannot be paid. And like I say, the release clause, 60 million euros, in the modern market, it can be paid like that. Very simple for any of those big clubs to come in and take him from us. And we've got a massive hole there. There's been papers, there's been reports that also link the likes of Clement Longley. He's currently at Sevilla. Skriniar of Inter Milan, that he's also being linked to Barcelona. Like I say, I'm not really sure whether those players are being linked to go with Umtiti, to partner him in years to come. Both of them are relatively young players, or are they made to replace Samuel Umtiti? But both Italian and Spanish media very much intent on linking us with Skriniar, who's had a really good season in Serie A, and also Longley, who we were also linked with in January. He's been once again linked to the club. So like I say guys, we're going to have to keep an eye on this one. I expect to hear more on this in the coming weeks, certainly the coming months. I think we need to sort this out sooner rather than later. Do not give Man United any sort of opening. We have to do something, and we have to do it soon. There's no good going back and forth negotiating. Either put the deal on the table, accept the demands, and up the release clause, or start planning for the future. For me, Barcelona cannot afford to lose Umtiti. He's a colossal player in this team. I love his personality. I love his spirit. I've loved his performances this season. He's been by far one of our key players. players, and certainly for me, a player we cannot afford to lose under any circumstances whatsoever. But as always guys, I want to know your opinions down below. Some people think that it's a lot of money to pay for a defender, but defence win titles. It's that simple. These players can help win you titles. Our defence this season has been spectacular, and that is down to a lot of it to Samuel Umtiti, and that for me is why we have to keep him. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below guys. What do you think of the Umtiti situation? Do you see him staying? Do you see him leaving? Should we pay him what he deserves, what he wants, or should we hold off, stick in those negotiations and try and get the fee down a bit? Let me know in the comments down below guys. I will be back tomorrow with another video for you. Thank you as always for watching, but until then, as always, Vesca El Barça!